the channel. My name's Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of New Jersey. This is season 12. I think episode 12. I think, but the title will be correct. This episode was dry, but kind of enjoyable. But let's get into it. Let's talk about some things before we get into this episode. So if you watched my last video, y'all saw that I read about the blind item, saying that they might be doing a shakeup at Bravo. And y'all, it might be true. I think this episode kind of cemented things for me, and also this post that Melissa made that Teresa is placing herself on an island, and sis might get kicked off the island if she keep playing games with the crew and with the cast as a whole, and she need to get it together. So Melissa posted this the night on Tuesday before the episode premiered, and this is what it states, and it's a picture of, and the lineup goes, Jackie, Margaret, Tracy, Melissa, and then Jennifer. And this was posted on her IG, and it goes, "Tell the truth. Aren't you ready to watch us girls have some fun? Aren't you sick of the miserable, nasty, and crazy? Well, tonight is your episode. I had so much fun with these ladies, just finally having a good time and some good old-fashioned fun. We had so much fun recording lady drama. No, we did not take it seriously. We sound like dead dogs, but at least we bonded and smiled and laughed together. I vote for more fun. I vote for more happiness. I wish you got to see Antonia's Sweet 16. It was such a gorgeous party. So tonight you'll finally see some happiness until the very end of the episode of course, hashtag over it, hashtag RHONJ." All of that was shade to Teresa. All of that was shade to Teresa. And then I think either that night of the premiere of the episode premiering, either on Tuesday or this Wednesday, I don't really be watching Watch What Happens Live like that. I see clips on Twitter or on Instagram, but it was Jackie and Melissa up there. And Andy asked Melissa about how she was doing with Teresa, and Melissa let it be known her and Teresa haven't talked since the show wrapped, since the reunion wrapped. She also said that Margaret is more loyal to her than Teresa is to Melissa. The one thing I noted was Jackie looks great. She's gained weight. She's still small, but she looks healthy, and she had such a beautiful smile. So I'm hoping that she keeps up with going to rehab or with her counseling with her eating disorder. But yeah, y'all, things is not looking too great for Miss Teresa. So let's get into this episode. The episode opens up where it left off, where it's the morning after all of the, the pushing of the cups and the white trash comment. And we are back at the house. It's a really nice rental home. It really is. Or a really nice house that they're trying to sell. But they're back at the house, and everyone's just rehashing what happened. You got Bill and Jennifer talking about it. Bill like, where was all that namaste? And Jennifer was like, it's more like go away. I like Bill and Jennifer. Like this whole episode, since they've been in Nashville, I like them together. They seem like they have a good time together. It's weird that Frank has become like the moral compass. Or at least the voice of reason. I won't give him moral compass. I give him the voice of reason. Because even with the whole Bill and Joe situation, Frank was like, Bill should not have to apologize to Joe. Like, Bill does not owe Joe an apology. And even with the Margaret and Teresa situation, I get where he's coming from. He was like, baby, like to Dolores, it was like, Dolores, it was unprovoked. Like, it wasn't that serious. Like, for her to get that mad and start hitting them cups, And I actually agree. Like, I got why she was angry. And like I told y'all in the last video, should Teresa have done that? No. But was I feeling that bad for Margaret? No, because there has been so many things. Margaret has crossed the line with, she hated Danielle. Like, she really hated Danielle, because every instance that we've seen online of Margaret crossing the line with somebody, it was either Danielle or somebody attached to Danielle, i.e. her husband. She pushed in the pool with the help of her husband, Joe. she poured wine on poured wine in Danielle's face, or threw wine in Danielle's face, and then when she poured that water bottle on Danielle. So it's like, for Margaret to act like so self-righteous, it's like, that's one of the reasons why I can't get with her, and why I think it's a load of hypocrisy when it comes to the group as a whole being like so disgusted with Teresa's actions, when it's like, all of y'all have done things except for Jackie. Jackie has never invaded someone's personal space or thrown things at them, but we have documented proof of all of y'all doing stupid stuff or very childish, are doing childish things. So it's like, I can't totally be like, Teresa is such this monster, or she's horrible. I mean, like, what she did was horrible, but I can't be that angry at her when I've seen y'all do the same thing and y'all didn't catch that much flack from the group for it, but y'all giving it to Teresa. So like I said, it's the morning. I thought it was funny that they had to have a team meeting in the morning while they eating breakfast to figure out how they gonna deal with Teresa. I was like, are y'all that like, I don't, it's weird. It's weird because, and the reason why I say it's weird is because on every interview I've seen Margaret, Melissa, and Jackie do, they always are like, it's not the Teresa show. It's not the Teresa show. But yet y'all are having a team meeting, a pre-intervention talk before y'all allow that lady to come back to the house at nighttime to have dinner. I was just like, this is wild. Like, this is, y'all are doing the most. Well, I get where Margaret's coming from, because Margaret was like, I'm not going to dance around or tiptoe around a crazy person. And I get that. But Margaret, the same thing could be said about you and the actions that you have taken, you know. And it also was kind of crazy to me how there's so much like, it's a hamster wheel when it comes to Melissa, Joe, and Teresa, because Joe asked for the same movement or the same actions from Teresa that Teresa is asking from Joe. Whereas we had Joe being mad at Jennifer in the beginning of the season, where he was like, you need to cut that beat off, like cut her off, what she said about my family. I don't F with that. If we were ever family, you would never talk to her again. And Teresa was like, okay, I won't speak to her again. We then get a scene of Teresa doing the same thing on the phone, saying the same thing, like, set that beat straight about Margaret and let her know if she gonna keep poking me, I'm gonna keep giving her that energy. And we got Joe trying to like call the storm, or like trying to like ease everybody's frustrations, but not really. It's the same thing. They're always asking for the same thing from each other. Support me. Have my back. We're family. When the truth of the matter is, we know Joe and Teresa are not close. It's plain as day. You never really see them interacting outside of the show. The only time they kick it or want to be around each other is when they're filming. Other than that, they are not cool like that. And I think they should just accept that and like stop trying to hold up this facade of like, we're such this close Italian family when you're not. Because the truth of the matter is, they never really, so this is my thing. I've always thought it was weird that like the dissension or the deterioration of their relationship was caused by their significant others. You got Joe Gorga saying that when Joe Giudice got in the picture, him and Teresa weren't cool no more. You got Teresa saying when Melissa came in the picture, they weren't cool anymore. And in my mind, I'm like, were y'all ever really that strong of a family unit if y'all were able to allow people or outside influences to make y'all separate? So I just wish they would just cop to not being cool with one another so we can move on. After they had their team meeting, we find out that the boys are going to go on the boat ride. Tiki's not going to go. He has a radio show that I guess he has like a podcast or something, because he is like a sports analyst. And then Dolores is going to go with Teresa and go shopping. And then the other ladies are going to or record a corny, tired song, Lady Drama. I will say, before we go to the next scene, I find it interesting that like Joe Benigno is like, what are you going to do if your sister gets wild? Are you going to walk her out? And I'm looking at Joe Benigno like, shut up, house. Like, Like, shut up, bro. Like, he gets on my nerves because oftentimes I feel like Joe Benigno does not jump or move unless his wife says. And it's kind of like, you're her sidekick. We get it. But, like, nigga, you didn't even do that much when Teresa was throwing drinks on your wife. So you trying to, like, tell Joe to get his sister together. I just want you to shut up, bruh. Just shut up. Shut up. Play your role as a side husband, as a sidekick, and be quiet. Like, hush, hush. Just hush. She get on my nerves. Everybody was broken off into groups. And I'm going to start off with Teresa and Dolores. So they went and got cowboy boots. I thought the white boots that Dolores had on were actually really cute. And I don't even like cowboy boots like that. Like, I really feel like cowboy boots are just for, like, especially like the glitzy ones that are like different colors instead of just regular cowboy boots. I just feel like they're not really meant for like attire. You know, like for an outfit, I think it's mainly for like, you know, cowboy boots are meant to be like work boots, you know? So I don't know. They just never appealed to me. But they're at the boot store or the shop and they're looking at boots and they start talking. And Dolores tried to like impart some wisdom to Teresa in the sense of saying, like, you know, you weren't there, but when me and Jackie got into it, I got in her face and then I calmed down and then I told myself that's not how I want to be portrayed or looked at. So I told her, you know, we gonna talk next time. She was like, you have to approach it that way. And Teresa's whole mindset is like, no, you mess with the bear, you poke the bear, like, I'm going to attack you, I'm going to bite you. And the truth of the matter is like Teresa, and I will say Dolores, I feel like was wrong for comparing Teresa to a battered dog in the sense of like, girl, nobody wants to be compared to that. But it's also a good comparison. It is. And I know some Teresa fans might be like, no, it's not, but it kind of is. Like everyone said, Teresa was used to being, when she was with Joe Giudice, Teresa was with a man who did not give her affection. He was very like emotionally abusive. Like he was like hard on her. Stop crying. Stop this. My bitch wife, this. He was mean. He was very mean. And she didn't have somebody that would hold her or cuddle her or make her feel safe. And maybe no, I think he made her feel safe, but he didn't make her feel safe in the sense of emotional safety, because there's a difference. You can be physically safe and not emotionally safe. And I think in that relationship, she was never emotionally safe or protected. And I think with her relationship with Louis, she feels that. She feels emotionally protected. She feels safe. And I think that is why she is so hell bent on like, y'all are not going to pop my love bubble. Y'all are not going to take away this person that makes me feel special, that makes me feel good about myself, that makes me feel like a princess. And in a sense, that's kind of what happens to battered animals, like, or abused people in general. Like, you're used to someone being nasty and hateful and very violent towards you. And then the next thing you know, you're introduced to someone who cares about you, who wants to like feed, clothe, and take care of you in the sense of like the animals. And then they attach themselves to that because it's like, this is the first time I've ever felt someone loved and cared for. Like, why would I want to turn away from that? And I think that's where Teresa's at. She just feels like everybody wants to attack her relationship. Now, mind you, I don't think Margaret is wrong for asking questions or being concerned about the information that has been coming out about Louis. But the truth of the matter is, Teresa has set a clear boundary where she's like, I don't want to talk about this information with you. So stop pressing me about it. Stop asking about it. And I kind of agree with her. Like, if I told you once to leave me alone about a said situation, don't keep bringing it up. Now, I don't think Teresa should have shoved them drinks on that lady, but I do think she should have cussed her out. Like, she could have just cussed that lady out and called it a day, but Teresa is the type of person that if she can't use her words, she resorts to violence. Like, we've seen it time and time again. Even when her and Jackie got into it, Teresa was looking for stuff in Margaret's home to like chuck at the lady. And like, she stopped herself from doing it. And then she called her, see you next Tuesday, like 20 something times. So it's understandable her frustrations, but her actions can't be justified because you're 50 and you should never be that way, or it should never get to that point unless you're defending yourself and it's a life or death situation. The next scene we see is the girls recording this song. The song was corny and trash. It was trash. But like Melissa's post said, they had a good time. And truthfully, they did. I could tell Jennifer was loving it. Honestly, I don't really think we're going to get the Jennifer that I love, like bitchy Jennifer. Jennifer. I don't think we're going to get that anymore, because I think Jennifer wants to be a part of the group and she's trying to get in where she fits in, because I also think Jennifer isn't stupid and realizes that the way the group is going, things are shifting. And Teresa is putting herself on an island where she might not be able to get off. And yeah, she's putting herself on an island where she might be alone. Because Jennifer has mended these relationships, she's getting a little bit closer to Melissa, and she's trying to work on her relationship with Jackie. I don't think her and Margaret will ever be like on the same page, but she's getting cool with Margaret. Now, there seems to be some beef with Dolores, but I feel like that could be easily mended and they could move on next season and push forward. But with Teresa is setting herself up to be at odds with everybody. And that's never a good look, especially if you don't have at least one or two people co-signing or riding with you. But they record the song. It's basically a quirky or a satire song about lady drama, about fake boobs, fake tits, just making light of their situation. And it was nice to see them having a good time. I definitely enjoy seeing Jennifer having a good time, because for the early part of the season, she wasn't. All we kept seeing is her being quiet, like crying, being distraught and in distress. And I was happy to see my girl having a good time. Okay. Will say Bravo was shady for posting that 2000, I think it was like 11 or 10 clip of Melissa on display, and that man in the studio being like, that was pitchy. Melissa was having a good time. She was like, she hit this one note, like when she was like, yeah, and I was like, Melissa, you are not J-Lo. I tell y'all that lady want to be J-Lo so bad. So bad. But the next scene we have is the men on the boat. Mind you, y'all, I don't mind the house husbands. I don't mind the husbros. I just, when we have the husbros, I want them to be in these types of situations. Like just having a fun time. I don't really care about the drama between them. Like the whole situation that happened between Bill and Evan, or Bill and Joe. I don't care about that. Like I get it. It adds to the franchise as a whole, but I'd rather watch them having fun, getting drunk, drinking liquor out of a dildo. I'd rather watch. They were having such a good time taking shots. We found out that Joe Gorga went to a sex shop, got a dildo, and they cut off, like gave it to Frank, and like I guess Frank doesn't have balls, which that's weird. But I like they kept like mentioning that he doesn't have. Maybe he don't. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know what that man got between his legs. But they had the dildo, and Joe cuts the dildo because it was a strap on, and they poured like I think they had like Jose Cuervo or Casamigos, and they were taking shots and drinking as they were sliding off of the boat, and they were having a good time. They asked Louis about like how he felt about Teresa after what happened, and Louis was like, he was scared. Like he was like, he even said, he was like, we've never had fights like this because we always agreed to have good communication. But he was like, I love her. Like she'll defend me and I'll defend her. Like I appreciate that in her. And then Joe Benigno was like, you know, like Margaret loves Teresa. She's protective of Teresa. And I said, I call BS. Margaret don't like Teresa. Margaret does not like Teresa. But I get what Joe was trying to do. Joe was like, we're just worried because of all the things we've heard. And Louis was like, I understand, but like y'all have given me the chance. The ladies haven't given me a chance. And I get to a certain extent where Louis is coming from. He's just new to this group. He's walking into this group and he's hoping that he can be readily accepted. And unfortunately for him, all the things in his past are popping up. I will say for women, we have to be more cautious. Like if you hear something about somebody being abusive or having a violent past, your antennas go off because oftentimes we're not protected. So I get the ladies being like, well, what's going on here. I get that. I get that. But I also understand Louis wanting to be like, well, that's in my past. I haven't done that in a while, or I don't do that anymore. Like, take me as I am now. But that's kind of the bad thing, like the, well, I won't say the bad thing, but that's kind of what happens when your actions have consequences. You could have did something like when you were like 16 or 17, and now being like in your 40s or 50s, you're still paying for that consequence. There's plenty of people in jail who did messed up things in their teens, who have been in jail for like 20 and 40 or 50 years, and they screwed up their lives. So it's like every action has a consequence, and this might be your consequence, bruh. But I thought it was fun. You know, they were having a good time. I didn't think it was healthy, or, well, not even healthy, safe for them to be doing shots and going into the lake. Because I was like, people drown that way. Like, they was just hitting shots. Joe was trying to put the dildo in people's mouths, and like they just kept going off the slide. And I was just, ugh. I will say I love Bill. I love Drunk Bill. Drunk Bill is a hoot. Drunk Bill is fun. I enjoy Drunk Bill. So everybody gets back at home, and now we're gearing up for the night. They're supposed to be having like some barbecue type situation. And yeah, let's get to that scene. Okay, so we're back at the house. The guys show up. Bill walks in. All of them were wasted, but Bill was the most wasted. And Jennifer was like, I just hope he don't come. Like, they don't have to drag him in, like carry him in. Bill comes in and his shirt, with his collared shirt, flipped backwards. Tiki is like, oh, y'all had fun. They walk in with the dildo attached to the bottle of like liquor. Just like, you know, the tip of the, the stuff, the top part of the stuff. Excuse me. Then you got Frank walking in with the testicle area wrapped around his neck, and everybody is weak, and they were having a good time. Like, they were actually like enjoying themselves. Jennifer was having a good time. That's why I think Jennifer is not going to be as rah next season, because I think she just wants to have a good time with the ladies. Like, she wants to be accepted by them. And when Teresa's not there, she is accepted. Like, she had a good time at the recording studio, and even when her husband came in. But yeah, Bill was gone. I was like, y'all couldn't tell that man to put his shirt on the right way. He was so drunk. He was like, I need a shower, preferably 2. And so everyone's getting ready for the night. Everyone's talking about like, okay, like what's going to happen with Teresa. Jackie and everyone are getting ready. And Jackie was like, I hate that she sets the tone of the night. Like, she's the barometer of where things are going to go. And I'm looking at them like, y'all are grown adults. She doesn't have to set the tone. If y'all don't want Teresa there, Teresa doesn't really, like, if y'all don't want Teresa to be crazy and act like a banshee and all that stuff, y'all could definitely set the lady straight. It's just that y'all don't want to. And I think it's honestly in their mind, they all have on their producer hats, because really this episode was dry. And so far, nothing has really happened. It didn't really happen until the end of the episode. And I think they allow Teresa to act like she does because they know it brings entertainment to the show. Because we're not going to watch a show full of women getting along, especially when it's a Housewives show. Housewives is supposed to was created to be catty, fun shade, and like watching people with opulent wealth have a good time. If we wanted to watch something where it's two friends or friends like together, we would watch TLC or something on OWN or something like that. Other than that, like, y'all need the drama. Y'all need, and Teresa is the drama. Am I the drama? No. Teresa is the drama. So they're getting ready. They have a good time. Like I said, I love Bill and Jennifer. Bill looked good in all his blue jean. Him and Jennifer, like, howdy, partner, you ready to go get some grub? I like them. I don't care. I like them. So it's the night. Everyone's having a good time. They learn how to do, I think they said, the cowboy shuffle. I was with Teresa and Joe and I was like, I got bored. I've taken line dancing and it has never been like fun for me. Like, it's good for like a short amount of time, like for like, after 30 minutes. After that, I just want to vibe. So line dancing wouldn't be my thing. It's the night. They're sitting down. The food looked dry. I ain't even gonna lie. That food did not look that greatly seasoned. But, everybody looked good. They talked to Dolores before Teresa gets there. And they're like, so how'd it go? Like, is she going to come and apologize? And Dolores is like, girl, you might not get an apology. She don't feel wrong for what she did. And Margaret is upset because Margaret feels like she is owed an apology. But I'm like, Margaret, did you ever apologize to Danielle? Or Marty, the man you pushed in the pool? So it's like, what you want, you're not going to get because you haven't given it yourself. Like, I don't think people understand how, like, the whole, because I'm a firm believer, like, whatever you put out in the world is what you give back. And if you've been a tyrant or a menace yourself, people are going to come back to you. Even if you decide to, like, change your life, it doesn't mean because you're a better person now that you're not going to get hit with the same energy you put out there. It's just like maybe you're what's the word? You're more prepared to deal with it in a way that is more conducive for yourself. But they sit down. Teresa apologizes to the group. But her apology really wasn't an apology because she said, I apologize. That's not the behavior of me, but I was provoked. And then Margaret, Tracy, and Jackie are looking at each other. Margaret's mad because Margaret is like, that's not even a good apology. That's not even an apology. You apologize for your actions, which Margaret is right. But like I said, has Margaret ever apologized to Danielle? So what are you talking about, ma'am? So then Teresa said something about, I didn't, because Margaret said, oh, she didn't get to eat last night, or she did eat last night. And then Teresa was like, well, no, I didn't get to eat last night, but I know Margaret got to eat last night because she's always eating. So then they took it as body shaming, which it could be. But I'm looking at Jackie like, Jackie, shut up, because there's tweets going around how you were talking about how Jennifer needed to work out instead of getting lipo. You also were talking about how Jennifer's nose, like how her nose looked bad. So you, in fact, have body shamed. Even the season before, like, I saw a clip of them talking about Danielle's vagina.
Yeah, porn site? Put the volume up. Let's hear it.
Evan was like, I saw something I could never unsee. Yes, exactly what Bill said. Her puss has claws and teeth. That's what he said. And just, if it was up to me, he would have not watched. My husband sees pussy all the time. I should thank her. Thank you. Because Evan saw it and then he didn't want nothing to do. Wow. Speaking of fish, Danielle. I just lost my appetite for that right now. Thanks.
Before, what's it called? Before the whole Margaret pouring water on Danielle, because they showed, the guys showed it was like a guy's night, and they showed Danielle's like sex tape or like her porn, like, because I guess she does porn. I don't know. I think they found it on a porn site. And they were all talking about her vagina. And I'm like, that in and of itself, I feel like that's the worst type of body shaming you could do to a woman, is talk about her private part. Because y'all know there's so many, like, a woman's downstairs area is so like complex. Like, anything can knock off your pH or anything. So it's like y'all all have body shamed and done really messed up things to each other. So just to pinpoint Teresa, it's hypocrisy. It really is hypocritical. It truly is hypocritical. So then Margaret and Teresa start going back and forth. Jackie pipes up and says she doesn't like how how Teresa is talking about her friend. And I hate how they do that, because I'm just like, just say the lady name. Like, stop talking about Margaret like that. And then Margaret gets up. Teresa tells, before Margaret gets up, Teresa tells Melissa to get her friend in order. Tell that bitch to shut up. And I'm looking at Teresa like, girl, Melissa is a grown woman. Don't be, chill. That's where Teresa be losing me, where she thinks other people should check other people because of like their allegiance to her or their alignment with her. I was like, girl, chill out. So then everybody just leaves and the episode like ends that way. Like, Joe was trying to help, because Joe was like, years ago, Teresa wouldn't even apologize to the group. So this, and in fact, is growth. I just feel like y'all should take what y'all can get. And low-key, I was with Joe. Take what you can get if that's really what you want, is an apology. So, like I said, the episode ends with everybody, like, leaving the table. And mainly Margaret started everyone leaving. And I think that kind of shows that Margaret has Margaret has more of a, like, what's the word, influence on the cast than Teresa does, in a sense, because Margaret gets up, then you got Jackie wanting to leave the table, then the only people who were still sitting, I think, was like Melissa or Joe, but then you have Dolores getting frustrated with both but both Margaret and Teresa, and she's like, you know what, I'm over this. So she gets up, and then Teresa and Louie leave. And I don't think Teresa understands that gone are the days in which a series can continue, or where a series can continue without one person. Like, Real Housewives is definitely an ensemble, like, business in a sense. Like, and you can tell, because even when we see people who get their own spinoffs, the spinoffs don't do that well. They really don't. Karen only got 2 episodes. Like, and y'all were shopping this around like this was going to be her own little thing. And the lady got a 2-episode special, both which I think are maybe 40 minutes long, and that's it. So for her to be such a fan favorite, y'all sure ain't following her, because them ratings is abysmal. So I'm just kind of like, I don't think she gets that. Because the thing is like, Margaret got up and then everybody in suit followed. And the truth of the matter is, Teresa has, her energy this whole entire season it's been stank. She has this energy like she don't want to do this no more. She's above it. She's tired. And I think she is over it. Because if you watch Real Housewives of growing up, growing up hip hop. Girl, that's another show. Ultimate Girls Trip, Teresa stated that like she never had a season where she knew peace. It's always been something after the other. And I get it. I think she is tired of it. But if she's tired of it, then maybe it's time for her to exit stage left and they introduce somebody new in her place. Because the truth of the matter is, I think without Teresa, the show will go on. They would just have to add people that can bring the spice to the group. They need to add 2 more housewives, not Tracy. Keep Tracy as a friend of the show, because Tracy is too up Margaret's ass for me. Like, Tracy doesn't think beyond herself, in my opinion, because it's like, Tracy never gave Teresa a chance. It seemed like Tracy came into the group already kind of being like, I'm siding with Melissa and Margaret. I'm not trying to be there for Teresa. It very much seemed like I came in here trying to go up for the top dog. And it got you to the point where like they just release her behind the scenes. Like I showed y'all in one of my videos of her behind the scenes. And I'm like, so you were supposed to be a main girl and they demoted you. So I'm just kind of like, girl, you played your cards wrong, you know? Excuse me. Teresa has an influence. The truth of the matter is, Teresa been on here since season 1. She is an OG. But if you look at all the other franchises, and case in point, let's talk about the top 4. Teresa's the only one left on Real Housewives of New Jersey. There are no OGs left on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't consider Kenya or Candy an OG. They're more veterans because they weren't there when the series premiered. Sheree doesn't count either because Sheree stay getting kicked off, and I don't think we gonna ever make fetch happen. Real Housewives of New York, they are scrapping it, trying to make Real Housewives of New York legacy and start all over with Real Housewives of New York. And then Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle is the only one that's left. Everybody else is like a veteran of the show, and then we got newbies. So it's like the days of us thinking that these shows can't exist without the OGs is gone, because they are existing, except New York, because we don't know what's going on over there. But what I will say is, even though like I think there's supposed to be like the prospective beefs for season 13 that are supposed to be coming up, is supposed to be like Melissa versus Teresa, which is tired and it's like beating a dead horse. Margaret versus Teresa, which I'm like, the feud is kind of weak because they're both hypocrites. So it's like you can't really side with one person. And then with it's supposed to be Dolores versus Jennifer, which I don't even think that's going to go on that long. I think they're going to like apologize and move forward, probably get 2 episodes. So it's like we need more people on the show. We need like a main villain or a main antagonist of the group. And just making Teresa that is not helpful, because now people are feeling like they're just ganging up on Teresa. when and which I don't think they are. I just think it takes all of them to take down Teresa. It just takes all of them, because Teresa is someone who stands firm and being by herself, and she don't care. She don't really care. So I can give her that. But yeah, y'all, I just think this alliance between Jackie, Margaret, and Melissa, we need to see a crack or two. Like, I'm kind of over them being just like so buddy because the thing about it is, like, it's hypocrisy throughout the whole entire group. So I don't know, like, you can't really ride for nobody like the way you want to. Like I told y'all, I don't really stand anybody in Housewives, but Jennifer is one of my favorite Housewives. Like, I like me some Jennifer. And I was happy to see Jennifer get along with the ladies. I think that's what Jennifer ultimately wants, is to be accepted by the group. And she was without Teresa. So I don't know. Jennifer might falter and end up being more neutral than really siding with Teresa. Because I think she's learning based off of this season and watching back that being in the middle helps you more than being solely on someone's side versus the other. Because the thing about the reason why people don't see it for Jackie, even though Jackie's cool or whatever, is because Jackie is so far up Margaret's ass. And it's like, people really don't like Margaret. Same for Jennifer. People didn't like Jennifer because Jennifer was up Teresa's ass. So it's like, being neutral when it comes to this franchise really helps you out. So I think the girls are learning that. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Drop down in the comments below and give me your thoughts. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.